Well, many people are making New Year's resolutions to get physically fit. It's also the perfect time of year to get financially fit. And that starts with your credit score. Schools First Federal Credit Union is here to help us understand how we can take charge of our credit score and start 2025 off on the right financial foot. Let's welcome back Nathan Calhoun, Calvine Point Grant Manager for Schools First Federal Credit Union. Always nice to see you, Nathan. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, Nathan, let's talk first. Credit can be confusing when we hear about how to get it better, how to get it back on the road to improving our credit. What do you think is the best place to start if people are serious about wanting to do that?
You know, when you're really thinking about your credit, what you really want to think about are the basics. And the basics of credit, along with these really good responsible behaviors that you create around those basics. Concepts like making your payments on time, being mindful of your credit utilization, also making sure that you take care when you're making additional applications or taking on additional credit are really the concepts you want to look at as the foundation for building a really healthy credit score. Of those concepts too, I really want to emphasize the making your payments on time as a really important step, as late payments can really impact your credit in a negative way.
Okay, that's a great take-home tip just to start right away. Yeah. Let's talk about what are some of the most effective things to do to start building or improving our credit scores.
We just mentioned the importance of making your payments. And, you know, one recommendation that I could say right off the get is automating your payments. Setting up your payments for automatic payment, and this is for your loans, but also just a lot of your other payments out there, sets you up for success. It actually makes bill paying a lot easier for you. It also ensures that you don't miss any deadlines when we're talking about your credit cards, your loan payments, things of this nature. You know, the payment record on your credit is 30% of what makes up your total credit score. Wow. So that payment history is incredibly important. In fact, it's the #1 factor at 30%. And a late payment can stay on your credit for up to 7 years, although over time, the impact of that late payment will diminish. So, you know, I really want to emphasize the importance of setting up automatic payments. And if you're worried, hey, months from now, I don't know how much I'm going to want to pay, just set it for the minimum payments. If you want to make extra payments, pay it down faster, pay it off, you can do that manually, but you'll always have that fail-safe in place.
To keep improving your score. Yeah. And that's great because life does get busy, so automatic payments can save time. Now, beyond making those payments on time, what are some other ways to really boost our credit score?
We mentioned credit utilization, and it's not a concept that a lot of people think about a lot, but you know, one of the things we talk about is revolving credit. Revolving credit is the kind of credit where you have a credit line available, you can use it, pay it off, and it's still available. The most common version of this is credit cards in our consumer lives, right? So you think about, and I'll provide an example, $1,000 credit card, right? You have $1,000 available. Well, if you go out and buy something for $300, you've now used 30% of your available credit line, and that's called your credit utilization rate at that 30%. Now, 30% is a magic number because if you go over 30%, it's might be working against your credit at that point. If you keep it under 10, it's showing that, hey, I'm managing my credit healthfully, I'm not overextended, and it could actually boost your credit score. So try to make sure that you're making larger payments, paying down your credit lines, and not constantly holding balances high on your revolving credit lines.
Great tips and important things to think about. Yeah. So I'm a teacher. I have lots of students who always wonder, in general, this might be good for folks at home too, how do you go about building your credit score if you really don't have much of a credit history?
If you're just getting going, a couple things you can do out there. You know, if this is available to you, you have somebody in your life willing to do this for you, you can consider being added as an authorized user on a responsible person's credit line. This is great because that person could now also kind of mentor you in the process of those responsible behaviors we talked about, making your payments on time, making sure your credit utilization is low. Another thing you can think about is like a secured credit card. A lot of, banks, credit unions offer these type of products out there. The one thing you want to keep in mind is that you do have to put on a deposit, on to guarantee the loan. So whatever you put on deposit will be your credit line, but you can still use that credit card at that point, make payments, show your credit history. That's a great way to build up some credit history. And then there's some, banks and credit unions out there that offer a credit builder type of product aimed to help people build their credit.
Great ideas, Nathan. Thank you so much. You've given us a lot of good stuff to think about.
Absolutely.
We're going to get right on that. Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. And you can visit one of the many Schools First Federal credit union branch locations as seen on your screen to get more information. And you can always find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.